Hey guys, welcome to 24 Chambers of Film. Today we're going to be talking about the Temecula Valley Film Festival. You guys might recognize this guy here, Steven, works with me here on the channel, but he's also the co-founder and film programmer for the Temecula Valley Film Festival. And it's going down this weekend, October 11th to October 13th in Temecula, California. Steven, let us know, how'd you get involved in the Temecula Valley Film Festival?
Yeah, so basically a group of me, other filmmakers that live in the area. Basically, it used to exist like years ago. It started in the 2000s, ended in 2014. And yeah, it's been basically dead for 9 years. But we brought it back in 2023. Me and three other people, Jeremy Habig, Jeremy Allen Papas, and Andy Bash. We wanted to bring it back because we felt like the community, there was a lot of filmmakers. There was kind of like, feel like a kind of a appetite for bringing it back, because when I went in 2009, it was at its peak. I think it was great. Michael Madsen was there. It looked like it was going to flourish, and then it just every year it got worse and it died out. So we were like, we just felt that was like a sad loss for the community that the festival wasn't around. So we thought like we can bring it back. So luckily we were able to partner up with Tri-Stone Cinemas at Temecula Theaters, and they were great. They're a locally owned theater, which is great. We didn't want it to be Regal or Reading or AMC. We wanted a local theater to run this. Thankfully, there's one still running in Temecula. And yeah, they've been great, and they accommodated us, and they've been great hosts. And we're doing it again there this year at Temecula Cinemas on October 11th through the 13th.
And for anyone who's not familiar with Temecula, it's basically a little wine country style city, right? Yeah. That is about 2 hours south of Los Angeles, about an hour north of San Diego. If you're in that area, definitely check it out. Unfortunately, I can't go this year, but I went last year to the inaugural launch of you guys' Temecula Valley Film Festival. I thought it was great. I'll be honest, going in, I didn't know what to expect.
Neither did I, bro.
I was pleasantly surprised, and I invited a few people to go, and they all said, "Oh, wow, this is amazing!" Like they all had a good time. The theater itself is very nice. So in the past, the theater was known as the cheap theater in town, in the sense that you would go see movies that had been out of their main run in the bigger movie theaters, and you'd see them there for $3-4, something like that. Now it's been revamped, has amazing reclining seats. They sell beer, they sell wine. It is what you want when you go to the movie theater. At least what I want when I go to the movie theater.
They got with the times for sure. What's the trend of movie theaters now? Look, I love it when it was the second run theater. I mean, like I said, you can't complain with $4.50, or $5 tickets, and I always I'm just a nostalgic. I'm nostalgic, so I like that old style theaters. I don't need recliner seats, but of course I'm not going to complain. And they used to, like you said, they used to be second run theaters where they show movies after it's been in the first run theaters for a while. But that type of theater chain is basically dead because of streaming, because movies leave the theaters quicker than normal now. So they had a revamp. COVID kind of put the final nail in the coffin in that industry of the second run movie theater, and then they revamped, came back as a first run theater, and thankfully they did, because they're a great local theater chain, and they've been great to us, so really appreciate them sticking around.
So let's get into the movie part of the Temecula Valley Film Festival, right? You guys are going to have a feature film, right? And then there is going to be blocks of short films for this, but your guys' long-term plan is to basically focus on longer feature films, but this is how you guys are building up to get to that, right? So the feature film that is going to be debuting this year, or the kind of piece de resistance of the Temecula Valley Film Festival, is The Unexpected, directed by Alejandro Montoya Marin.
What are you up to?
I'm just trying to do everything I can to get my family back.
Could you give us a little bit of background on that film?
Yeah, so The Unexpected, that's the feature film spotlight. It's playing opening night at 8:15 p.m. Cast and crew is going to be there, which is great. He's going to be there. We're going to have a Q&A. In all these films, we have a Q&A, This one will probably be the longest Q&A out of all of them, the feature film one. But even the short films, after the block's over, we'll have Q&As with the filmmakers, and then even have the the people in the audience ask any questions if they have any questions. I'll be the moderator for those Q&As, so that will be interesting and fun, hopefully. And but yeah, The Unexpected is directed by Alejandro Montoya Marin, and he's a very cool dude. I've had a pleasure talking with him and getting to know him. But yeah, he got his start on Robert Rodriguez's Rebel Without a Crew reality TV show, where he selected like 5 filmmakers to make a $7,000 movie, basically how he started in the industry by making El Mariachi for $7,000. And that was the competition to see these filmmakers make a $7,000 movie in Texas, and I think around Texas and stuff. And he was on there. And yeah, his movie got good response and everything like that. I think it was the first one accepted into film festivals. And yeah.
From that show?
From that show. Yeah. He made a movie I think it's called Monday. But it was like an hour-long movie, like an action film. And it got a good response. And then, yeah, he's, kept trucking along, being an ambassador for independent films and doing his thing. He did another movie called Millennium Bugs. You can watch it on Tubi. Check it out. Very good film. And then this is his newest film, The Unexpected, which is definitely his biggest film. It's doing its festival circuit run still, so it's not available to watch anywhere else, only in the festival circuit. This is probably its 4th festival, and it has Matt Walsh. You may know him from Hangover, Old School. He's the lead in this movie.
Old School, yeah.
He's the type of guy that you recognize. He's been in so many movies.
Who is he in The Hangover?
He's the doctor. Yeah,
he's like your dentist.
Yeah. Great. Always. You see him on screen. He's always delivering. He always does his roles great. But this time he gets.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where people see him and they're like, "Oh, I recognize that guy," but most people don't know his name off the top of their head.
Yeah, but he's a great actor, and here he gets to really shine. He's the lead role in it. The whole cast is great. It has a great cast. Even Moosh is in it. What's his name? Jerry Bednob, I think is his last name, from 40-Year-Old Virgin. He's in there, and he's hilarious. It's got a great cast. It's basically a comedy heist film, and I don't want to give too much away, but these group of people get scammed by this influencer, and they want to get their money back, and they're going to pull off a heist to get it back. So very fun. It's a crowd pleaser of a film. It's very much a crowd pleaser. It moves by quickly, great pacing, great comedic timing. Just a really fun, engaging crowd pleaser of a film. And I think people are going to love it, whoever gets to see it, because it's really, really, really fun.
See, I saw the trailer for it. Actually, it seems like a good time.
Yeah, it's pretty funny too. It's really good, really good comedy in it.
Yeah, and it looks. When I was watching the trailer again, I was just watching it, and it's definitely like the type of movie that I would watch. It seems like it has it seems like it's one movie that I like a lot, and I haven't seen the movie. I've only seen the trailer, right? So I don't know, but just off of the trailer, it reminded me a little bit of the movie Arkansas, but faster paced. I don't know if you've seen Arkansas.
I know what movie you're talking about. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I know.
And it's almost like it seems like it's a crime caper where the criminals are not capable, right? Which a lot of times can be like it can be entertaining. And to me, it just seems obviously it's completely different. I think style or theme from Arkansas, but it reminds me of criminals that aren't 100% capable of like what people think. And
there's a similarity for sure of like people that are kind of out of their realm trying to do something, so it definitely falls in that. And
which I personally love watching those movies, but see, I don't like watching movies when they look like they're too stupid, and this one looks like it's just perfect with the,
it doesn't get it doesn't get this movie has a good balance of with the humor, in my opinion. It's so
like Masterminds, for example. I don't know if you've seen that one with Zach Galifianakis. I'm like, it's just too ridiculous. Like it's like that concept that's too, and this doesn't, Let me make it very clear. This seems like a legit. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not entertaining, but for me, my personal preference is not to go to these movies that are just so ridiculous.
No, it's definitely more toned back than Masterminds for sure.
And this definitely seemed like I was like, okay, this is my type of flick from the trailer. I haven't seen it, so I can't speak to it. I'm just going based on what I saw in the trailer. And Matt Walsh is going to be there too. Matt Walsh, nice. Francisco Ramos, Alejandro de Hoyos, Ian Perez, and other
people from the cast and crew. So I'm really looking forward to meeting all of them and, you know, getting to talk to them about the movie afterwards. So that's pretty cool.
Nice. And they're all going to be part of the Q&A.
Yeah. We'll bring them up and have them and do a little Q&A with them.
Okay, cool. They got some big shoes to fill because what was the feature film last year?
It was my film. The director's cut. Yeah, I think they'll be fine. You know,
but
we had a good turnout. I mean, we had a great turnout. We had a great audience. It was awesome watching.
I'll be honest. I'll tell you this much. I saw this guy's feature film on a Vimeo link that he sent me because I didn't go to the premiere that he had because I was out of state.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But when I saw it there, my perception of the movie completely changed from watching it at home on a TV to watching it in the movie theater.
Yeah,
like it made a huge difference when watching it that way. It made
better in the theater, in my opinion, and I think it just the environment adds something that you can't get.
I don't agree with that 100% personally. So this is a compliment. I take the compliment and shut the F up. All right. So let's move on. You know, you guys have the rest of the film festival, you know, broken up into blocks, and one of the opening blocks is In the Spirits, which is the horror block, right? Yeah. And I'm assuming these are all movies that, you know, fall into the horror category. You know, it's Halloween, October, perfect for that. Can you kind of give us a little rundown of what we're going to see in this horror block?
Yeah. So like this. So Friday, it's not a full day; it's a half day. It starts at 6:30 p.m. Also, by the way, it's a red carpet event too, so there's the red carpet as well. So people probably be getting there before that.
Last year, I got some pictures on that red carpet.
I know he got some.
Same photographer this year.
Mario, no, he double booked himself, so he was gonna do it, and then he realized that he already had booked himself. So he recommended us someone, so we got someone else coming in, which
I thought you were going to tell me he was entering the Street Fighter tournament.
Maybe.
His title as,
I don't know.
Guy, I'm going to tell you right now, like, this guy was super cool. Fucking looked just like Sagat from Street Fighter. I wanted to walk up and be like, Tiger uppercut.
No, Mario was great. I wish he would, you know, maybe for the third year we can get him back, but we got another guy for this year that he recommended, so I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, that's cool. It was a good time. Like, it was just, you know, it just, you go on the website, you can go on their website right now. I don't know if you guys still have all the pictures up from last year, but I
think you might be able to look it up, but yeah.
Yeah, it was like, I was like, damn, there's some pretty good pictures of myself. I don't take a lot of pictures. I was like, but these meet my approval. I think one of them is actually one of my social media profile pictures, just because, again, it looks so good. But back to the horror
the horror block.
Block of it. Yeah, it's, you know, it's a red carpet event. So you're gonna come in, you're gonna have a good time. And you know, sorry, let me say one thing, because I've been to another like movie premiere and I've been to another film festival, and when they have the red carpet premiere, a lot of times it's like, oh, you can't go. Only like people that are designated can go. I don't know how it's going to be this year, but last year, like when it was free, you can go up there and take a picture, which was very, very cool. You know, you got to showcase same
thing. You get your people. We're gonna allow people to get in there and take pictures. Yeah. If you're here to be, you know, at the festival, you can go take a picture and Yeah,
so it's very, very welcoming. You don't have to go there and feel like, oh, I can't do anything because I'm not a movie maker. I'm not a filmmaker or something. It's like you're there to have a good time, support the cause, you know, support filmmaking, and, you know, you get to enjoy little things like that. And I thought, I'll tell you this much. Some of the best pictures I got from the last year were because of that festival. So it was a good time. But now back to the filming, the horror films. Let's go through that block.
The first block, In the Spirits horror block, starts at 6:30 p.m. You know, the first film that's going to start is called Fucking Nuts. A great comedy horror written and directed by Sam Fox. She's a great filmmaker. She's very active with the short films. Very talented filmmaker. I'm expecting her to do great things soon. I'm anticipating her feature film debut, which I'm hoping will be coming soon because she is very talented. I think she has outgrown short films. I think she's not saying like not to do them anymore, but I'm just saying she's ready to make a feature film because she's seasoned with the short films, and they're all the ones I've seen are really, really amazing, really well executed, and she's got a great style, and they're fucking hilarious, and they're also great with the horror. So yeah, fucking nuts. Great film. This movie will surprise you just the way what it's actually about. It's hilarious. But yeah, beautifully shot too. And then the next film we got is Oddities, written and directed by Tyler Savage, which is a great supernatural horror film that takes place in an antique shop. It has Adrienne Barbeau from the movie The Fog, Escape from New York. She's, big. She was really big in the 80s, but yeah, she's in it. And I don't want to go too much into it, but yeah, very, very well shot, very well acted. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie, and I think a lot of people are going to dig it as well. And then the third movie is Broken Vessels, written and directed by twin brothers, Larry Ziegelman and Terry Ziegelman. And this stars Alicia Blassingame, she was one of the actors in my film, The Director's Cut. She's a phenomenal actor. But yeah, it's basically a woman who is in an abusive relationship, and then she, starts getting superpowers in a way and gets revenge, essentially. But it's very cool film. And then we got The Door, written and directed by Alexander Seltzer. This is like a sci-fi horror movie, very enigmatic movie, but basically one day this door appears in this person's house and out of nowhere. And I'll just leave it at that. And shit gets crazy. And then we got Wake. Written and directed by Sean Carter. Basically, these two nurses have one last job before evacuating. There's a storm going on and stuff, and a dead on arrival corpse of a girl shows up downstairs in the morgue, and creepy shit starts happening. And it's very well made, very creepy, a very spooky film that I think a lot of people are going to get a lot of enjoyment out of. But yeah, this block's amazing. It's definitely I was happy to be able to have a horror block. We weren't able to do that last year, but this year, more submissions, more things to play with, and it was cool to have like a Halloween block. And yeah, I'm excited for this one.
Nice. It sounds like it's going to be a good little run there of horror movies, which is perfect, obviously, for the October timeframe of your guys' film festival. And so the opening day is going to be this horror block, and then the Unexpected's, correct?
Unexpected's, correct.
Opening night, sorry. Then the next day, which is the 12th.
This is the long day.
This is the long day. This is where you got to basically go in, bring rations, bring supplies so you can make it through the whole thing without leaving. Or you could just go there and buy a bunch of wine and a bunch of beer, and you'll be good for the day.
Well, there's food too at the theater, so you can get fed. You can be fed there.
I don't know. I'm not an eater and a drinker. I either drink or and I don't eat because eating actually makes it worse for me. So
I agree.
I just got to dig my toes in and then just drink if I'm going to drink. So to start off the second day on Saturday, you guys are going to have the Media Lab showcase. Can you give us a little bit of info on what the Media Lab is?
Yeah, the Media Lab showcase, starts at 10:20 a.m. and it's a school out here in Temecula for special need adults, and they teach them skills in filmmaking and how to do editing, just work with the cameras, write scripts. It's very cool program. Very awesome to see these young filmmakers and these adults do this stuff and showcase what they've learned at the school. It's really cool. We're really happy to have this on the block. It's just something that we think is just an awesome thing. And so that starts at 10:20 a.m. and it's there's 5 films, if I'm correct. No, 6 films. And I think they're all great. It's really great. And I think if you go to see this, you're going to have a great time watching these films. Really well made. So
after the Media Lab showcase, you guys are going to have blocks of shorts. I believe there is going to be how many blocks on Saturday?
There'll be 5 blocks after the Media Lab.
5. Okay, so five blocks. And it's basically going to run a set of shorts, and then you guys are going to have some type of intermission before the next block starts, I'm assuming?
Yeah, like 30 minutes to 40 minutes in between each block, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, obviously, again, I'm saddened that I can't be this year, but when I was last year, some of these shorts were freaking really, really good. Like, I mean, I remember seeing them and I was like, damn, I don't watch a lot of shorts, but to me, it's like, it's amazing what you can put into a short film, right? Essentially, and get across in that. So I thought there were some really good ones last year. My favorite personally was the one that actually had Alyssa Milano in it, the parking garage one. I thought that was really a really good one.
Overnight parking, that's what it was called.
Yeah, overnight parking. I thought that one was really good. But so the first block starts at 12:15 p.m. And can you go over the films that are going to be in block number one?
Yeah, so the first one is The Magic Hour. It's an animation comedy film directed by Nathan Milburn. Two brothers' mission to fix their mom's broken table before she comes home is met with a series of challenges. This movie's hilarious, very well done with animation. I think people are going to get a kick out of this movie. The next film is Saturday Ritual.
How fascinating.
What does that mean?
Written and directed by Sydney Horton. High school soccer players Cami, Em, and Kara have a tradition of visiting a different psychic after every Saturday match. This is based loosely on her real experience that Sydney had. Very well made, pretty funny, very interesting concept. Apparently, I think this is also a proof of concept too, so might have a feature script of this as well, but definitely close to home, this film, but really well made. I really enjoyed this movie. Next one is Fire Fucking Fire. Written and directed by Julia Ehringer and Rachel Paulson. It's a comedy film. Basically, the lead character, Allie, ends up hooking up with someone that she idolizes, a rock star in a band, which is played by Alice Cooper's daughter. And it doesn't go the way she was expecting when you sleep with someone that you like.
It's played by the real Alice Cooper.
The real daughter. Alice Cooper's daughter, yes.
Okay. I didn't know that was like part of the story.
Yes, his real daughter. Yeah, she's the rock star that she ends up hooking up with, but ends up kind of essentially turning into a nightmare in a comedic way, not in a horror way. But yeah. And then the next film we got is Stella, Is It You? It's directed by Fabian Martin and Victor Martin. It's a drama. It's basically a grieving woman, starts hearing her dead husband through her car radio. I'll just leave it at that. Very powerful film, very intense, great performances. It's in Spanish, or not fully in Spanish, but there is some Spanish in it, but really great film, powerful movie for sure. And then we got a film from Chile, written and directed by Leticia Alec Escarate. I probably butchered her last name, but Escarate, there we go. It's called Yaya. Great film. It's a coming of age film about a woman with Down syndrome, a young adult with Down syndrome, and it's very well done, very well made. A real highlight of the festival, in my opinion. Just a very great executed film.
And this is one of two films that are going to be at the film festival that are not U.S. based filmmakers, correct?
Yes. Oh yeah, yes. That are like foreign films. Yeah. We also got a film from Canada too. So.
Oh, okay. Which one? Well, I mean, we'll get to it when we get to it, right? So that's block 1, 12:15. Next block 2, 2:05 p.m. What are we going to see in that block?
Yeah, so short block 2 at 2:05 p.m. The first film is Seymour Ruck, written and directed by Peter Bolt. Dark comedy drama. It's about Seymour is the epitome of mundane. One morning he gets a call that just might end the loop of existential dread. What could possibly go wrong? That's the movie. It's very dry, funny film that I really enjoyed, and I think everyone's going to enjoy it too. And then we got Guts, directed by Margot Suzy. It's a dark drama comedy about a woman dealing with having a eating disorder. I'll just leave it at that. And then we got The River. Directed by Joseph Paul Alvarado, horror sci-fi film. He's out of Albuquerque. But yeah, this is just a man's dealing with the loss of his girlfriend, and it's a very surrealistic sci-fi horror film that I don't want to go too much into it because it's better to go in blind to this one. But yeah, very much like this one. Then we got Stalemate, written and directed by Jeremiah Marcus Battle. This is like a drama thriller about this couple, this husband and wife. They are on the rocks. They go into this cabin to kind of work things out, and then they're met by an unsuspected visitor. I'll just leave it at that. Really surprising ending to this film. Then we have the final film in this block is Heading Out, I'll Be Here, directed by Carson Schroeder and Steven Johnson. And this film is about a woman who has a lot of anxiety, and she gets invited to this gathering by a coworker. And it just really illustrates kind of like the social anxiety that this character is going through, and it's executed very interesting. You get to see it's kind of surrealistic, psychological. I really, really enjoyed this one. Great performances as well. So that's it for that block. Yeah.
So short block 3 then starts at 3:55 p.m. And what are we going to see in that block?
The first one is Memory Card, directed by Taras Lashak and Stanislav Prustrak. It's a sci-fi drama, a little bit of comedy in there. Two friends compete for a coveted memory card by finding hidden coordinates across a beloved retro PlayStation 1 game. So very cool film. If you're a video game head, this is a movie to definitely watch. It's really well made, really fun. It gets you hooked in right away. And the next film is As Easy as Closing Your Eyes, directed by Parker Croft. This one's produced by Abigail Breslin. But the story of a grieving mother who battles her addiction to a black market drug that gives her life-like dreams about the son she lost. This movie's heavy as fuck, but it's really well made, a very powerful movie. And
Abigail Breslin, sorry, before we go on to the next one, she is the little girl from Little Miss Sunshine, right?
Yeah. Yep, and she's also one of the main characters in Zombieland. She's had a great career in Hollywood, but yeah, she was one of the producers on that film. Yeah. And then we got Deep Tish, written and directed by David Page. This is a dark comedy about AJ, who's getting a deep tissue massage, and things get very weird for him. Stars Zach Fox. You may know him from Abbott Elementary. He's also a stand-up comedian. Very funny, kind of absurdist type of movie. I really enjoyed it. Then we got Universe 25, directed by David Tappan. It's a sci-fi horror film. Basically, in prison, a woman can't know anyone longer than 30 days. It's difficult to say what's worse, knowing that anyone she cares about will disappear or that they might be replaced by someone worse. So very trippy sci-fi, claustrophobic film, chamber piece, but really well made. It really makes you think, very thought-provoking. I really, really think a lot of people are going to dig this one.
So that's block 3. Moving on to block 4, which kicks off at 5:45 p.m. What are we going to see in that one?
So starting off the block, we got Panties. This is our only documentary in the festival. It's written and directed by Marissa and Manuela.
Hold on. Let me guess what it's about.
You get it. It's about panties.
Oh, panties. Oh, shit. I was off on that one.
Yeah, panties. Basically, it's talking about women's relationship to panties, the word panties in general, but it's done in a very unique way, beautifully shot on 16 millimeter film. I mean, it's a great film, a great documentary. I think people are going to be very into it. And yeah, so next one is Loser, written and directed by Colleen McGinnis, drama, dark comedy. Loser follows 22-year-old Alice, who works at a frozen yogurt shop, and what turns out to be an unforgettable day of her life. This movie is great, also shot on 60 millimeter film, looks gorgeous, very well made. A lot of it's in inner thoughts of the main character, so a lot of voiceover, but executed to perfection, in my opinion. So the next film is called Business Trip, written and directed by Gerardo Celio Escalante from Mexico. This one is hilarious, but also sad. Yeah, because it's basically a kid who gets these cool fire shoes from his dad. He goes to school, is very excited about it. And then when
fire shoes?
Yeah, they have fire design on the shoes,
Oh, okay.
They're red, yeah. No, they're not literally on fire. But yeah, he gets these new shoes that he had gotten from his dad. He tells his friend, and they were very hard to get. He had to beg the guy to get them for him. So while he's in class, they're doing presentations how was their weekend or whatever. And one other kid comes up with the same shoes that he's wearing, and he connects something very interesting to those shoes with him. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But very well done movie. The kid actors are all great. beautifully shot. I really adore this film. Next one is Dion in Denver, directed by Zach Husseini. This is a drama film, basically. John Denver and Dion Demushi, real life people, and yeah, it's an encounter that could have happened between them.
So funny. Sorry that you said that, because on the website they have they have a still that goes with each film.
Yeah.
And the still is the guy there. And when I read the name, I didn't read the description. I was just looking and I was like, I wonder if that's about John Denver. Or I was like, that looks like John Denver,
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's crazy. Like, the guy looks like John Denver. It's freaking nuts.
No, yeah, it was. The casting is great in this, and the way they set up, the decade, the 1960s, is really well done. Basically, it's an encounter of these two guys, Dion and John Denver, and they basically have a really interesting and compelling conversation at this bar that has people play music at, and very, very well made movie. They really did a great job with the production design in this movie, and the performances are amazing. So the next one we got is Skin, written and directed by Leo Behrens. I probably butchered his last name, sorry, but it's an experimental drama. There's no dialogue in this. It's very surrealistic. The visuals are very compelling. I'll just leave it at that. And then we got the movie Trapped, which is written and directed by Sam Coulter-Kreutz and David Coulter-Kreutz. This is a drama about a high school janitor who runs into a set of unexpected obstacles at his job. This movie is anxiety-inducing in the best possible way. Great film, really well filmed. I really enjoyed this movie. I think people are going to get really into this movie for sure, because it really draws you in, and it also gets you upset. And then you got the last film on this block is Now a Good Time, written and directed by Jim Cummings. Jim Cummings, if you don't know him, he is like an indie filmmaker darling. He made the movies The Thunder Road. He stars in them, and he also directs them and writes them. He did the movie The Wolf of Snow Hollow, which is a great film as well. There's a movie called Beta Test. This guy is a great actor. He's been in other stuff too. He's in 310 Yuma County or whatever. He's in that movie. He's one of the main guys in that movie. I think you reviewed it this year, the Yuma County one.
Yeah. Which guy is he? The main guy, the salesman?
I think so. Well, look at that picture. It's whatever guy you.
I was trying to recognize him, and
he did it. He's one of the salesmen, but I wasn't. He's the main guy.
He kind of looks like? He kind of looks like Homelander from, at least in that picture, from The Boys.
Yeah, he also has the colors there. But anyways, this is a dark comedy. He works for Disney, and Disney and Marvel, and basically he's visiting a kid who's dying of cancer, and he's going to show him the new Captain America movie, and things don't go as planned. Just leave it at that. But it's a very hilarious movie with one of the ending that's going to definitely probably divide people. I'll just leave it at that.
That sounds like a type of movie that I want to watch then. So the final block on Saturday starts at 7:35 p.m. and that's actually a local short block. And then after that, there's going to be an award ceremony.
Correct. Yes, we only have one award, and that's the audience award. We call it the Golden Poppy, and we basically tally up. Everybody who goes to the movie screenings gets a card. And they can rate each movie out of 10, and then we will do an average, and the highest winner with the highest average. The highest average is going to win the award, the Golden Poppy.
And is the Golden Poppy named after Poppy from the Trolls movie, or how did you guys come up with that name?
There's a lot of poppies in Temecula, so that's how we figured it out. So,
okay.
So very simple. But yeah, anyways, the local short block starts at 7:35 p.m. The first one we have is Would You Still Love Me If I Was a Cockroach, which is directed by Jeremy Allen Pappas, one of the co-founders of the festival, and also helped me with film programming. Obviously, he's not eligible to win any award because that's just unethical. So he's not eligible to win any award. But yeah,
it's unethical.
Well, you don't want.
The entire world is built on greasing palms.
Yeah, it's an audience award, so he can have people that he knows come. So that's why but he could still get his movie rated and all that stuff. So it's a comedy drama, a woman's peculiar relationship with her boyfriend who turned into a cockroach. Very absurdist, very well made, great. I think people are going to love this one. So the next one we have is 2 a.m. in Temecula, Written and directed by Lavelle Newman. It's a comedy drama. Random things happen at 2 a.m. in Temecula. It's loosely based on a real event that he encountered, mostly a real conversation that he had at 2 a.m. with someone. But yeah, that's going to be a good one to watch. Next one is some movie called Switchblade Holiday. It's directed by some guy named Steven Aripis. Me, again, also not eligible for any awards. But yeah, it's a horror film. Two psychopaths.
That's the whole point of this whole thing, was so you could win awards and then claim you're like the best ever.
No, that's not the whole point. I'm not that type of person. But no, basically what it's about, two psychopaths carry out their first joint murder, setting the stage for their future as serial killers. I think people are going to, I think they'll have a good time. And let's get to the next one.
Is that your unbiased opinion on this one?
I think everything I say is unbiased.
I'm just busting your chops, man.
Maybe not. Maybe they'll hate it. Who knows? So next one is Vokalak, which is Russian, and it's for werewolf. And then it's written and directed by Johnny Legnard. It's a fantasy drama, a modern werewolf tale. This one's very surrealistic, very interesting imagery, very good images. It's in black and white, just very unique. And I think people will definitely get something out of it for sure. All right, so our final film on the block is called Corn Dog, written and directed by Daniel Maggio and Hunter Hawkins. They are also the stars of the film. It's a romantic comedy. Two people meet in the park. I'll just leave it at that. But it's very fun, very quirky. I think people are going to get a real kick out of this movie and have a really good time. And it's nice, short and sweet, very well made. Yeah, it's a crowd pleaser in my opinion. So
then after that block ends, you guys are going to have the ceremony for the Golden Poppy. That's Saturday. And then Sunday, you're basically going to you're going to replay the films that were voted on by the fans, correct? Starting at 11:30?
Yeah, so on October 13th, it's the Best of Fest. It's at 11:30. It's a 2-hour block of the highest rated films of Saturday night and Friday night of the short films. And yeah, they're going to be in a 2-hour block. And if you missed it, you would come and see some of them on the last day at 11:30 a.m. And yeah, it'll be a good time.
Let me ask you this question before we move on. How difficult is it for you to program a block for a film festival like this? Like, I mean, people probably think it's easy. Just, pick the movies. But I mean, you guys get a ton of submissions. Not everything makes the cut. Like, is it difficult to be kind of making those decisions? Like, how hard is that?
It's difficult in different ways. Like, if you get first year, it was difficult because we had submissions, but it wasn't as much as it is this year. So you only have a certain amount to pick from, and you got to make that work. This one, we had more. We essentially tripled the amount. So it's also trying to figure out how to group these. It's like an orchestra. I feel like you're trying to when you set up a block for films, you're trying to give them an emotional ride, so you're trying to do it where it feels kind of properly paced in a sense. Let's start off with something light, and then it gets darker, and then you bring it back up to something light, so sometimes you have to mix it up like that. Sometimes, like I said, the horror block was okay, perfect, you're kind of keeping essentially the same tone, but even then we start out with something that has more comedy, and as we get deeper and deeper into the block, it's less comedic, but it's still horror, so that we try to think of all that, how, is it going to be a good trip, a good ride for the people watching? We don't want it to just be too abrupt of comedy, and then we get real sad or something like that, so we try to do our best what we got as well, because still, even though we got more submissions this year, it's still we could always get more, having more would always help, because then you can really, organize it better and stuff like that. But also, we only have a select few spots, so it's also a combination of that. And at the end of the day, we pick what we feel is the best movie, even, what I mean? We're not just going to be we have to pick comedies. We're picking the best movies. We try to, mix it up with genres and stuff like that as well. But at the end of the day, we're shooting for quality over quantity of a certain type of genre.
And as far as the events of it, you guys are having some after parties. Is the after party on Saturday, Sunday? What day is that going to be?
So Friday, we have an after party at 10 p.m. After the Unexpected. It's going to be at the Daisy in Temecula. And then
Where exactly is that located in Temecula?
that's off the 79 in Temecula, like near Pachanga or past Pachanga.
Okay. And for those people that don't know, Pachanga is a casino.
Yeah,
It's a pretty large casino in the area.
Yeah. So you would basically not turn into go into Pachanga. You just keep going past it. And then it's in this place called Vale Headquarters off the 79. And there's a place called
I know where that is. It's cool I know where that is.
Very cool
spot. Cool little outdoor spot. And, they got
we're going to be indoors.
There.
Yeah, we're going to be
outside.
Indoors.
Yeah.
We're going to be indoors.
It's like, it's almost like, I don't know, I guess the best way to share would be like a commune of like restaurants, and they have like they all share like a lawn and all that, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's for Friday night, and then on Saturday night, which will be the longer party because it's Saturday and it's going to be in 1909 Old Town Temecula. So it's going to be very busy and popping that night, the Saturday night party. So yeah, and then after that's it, no more parties after that. But that 1909 at 10 p.m. it starts for. I have
to come in and say one thing. One of my favorite dishes in the world is at 1909.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
But don't they update their dishes like periodically?
This one's always on the menu because they know this. They have a few. They have really good empanadas. I think. I don't remember what the empanada is in the empanada, but it's really good. It's either shrimp or crab empanada. I don't remember. I think it's a seafood. Really good. But they have this chorizo and shrimp dish, and it's. It's chorizo, shrimp. It's in a nice sauce. They give you some bread for it. It is freaking good. Like every time I go, I don't live in town. I haven't lived in town for like 5-6 years. Every time I go back, I make sure I stop there to get the chorizo and shrimp. It is just the one dish for me that I go back for all the time. And it is really, really good. So anyone who's going to that after party, get the chorizo and shrimp and 1909. It is hands down, in my opinion, the best dish in all of Temecula.
Okay,
and I'll stand by that. If you want to fight me about it, let me know and we'll meet in the parking lot and we'll settle this one because it is amazing.
Nice.
I've gone there before and there's a long wait.
Great food. It has great food. Yeah.
There's a long wait. And I'll call in and order it, and then I would pick it up, and then I would sit across the street in they used to have a place called Rosa's Cantina that closed earlier, so I would just sit in their empty patio and eat it, so I'd have to wait.
Okay, nice. Yeah, but yeah, that's our festival. I do want to thank our sponsors, if that's okay. The Media Lab.
Fuck that. No. You're not. Go ahead.
No, for reals. I mean, honestly, the sponsors are key. They help us, get this thing going and keep us alive. So the Media Lab, Lorenzo Estate Vineyard and Winery, Matthew Adams, DMD, Temecula Family Dentist. And then we got Devoted Ink Tattoo. We got Beaumont Glass and Door. We got Sports Card Superstore, Breakwater Brewing Co. Selfiehere.com. Visit Temecula Valley. Video Co-Pilot, Footlight Studios. We got 1909, Tristone Cinemas, The Daisy, and that's it. Those are our sponsors, and honestly, they're awesome for being a part of the festival. And hope to bring them along every year.
One thing to say that I think people think about the film festival, just going to Temecula as part of the film festival, it's it's not, you don't have to just go and experience that. There's you want to go wine tasting, mentioned, you guys are
they're big on
by
that.
By Lorenzi Estate. That's a whole day there. You go do some wine tasting, you come to on a Friday, man, you get there early, go do some wine tasting, hit up the film festival on a Friday night. Saturday, maybe if you don't want to sit through an entire set of blocks, go wine tasting, come back for the other parts, hit up the after party. I mean, there's a lot that can be done there. It's a great. There's a Pachanga, like you mentioned, right? That's by where the after party is going to be, the Daisy. There's a decent amount of stuff to do down there. Honestly, if someone's coming in from out of town, look, what you do is this: you book a hotel for Friday night, you get there early, you go do some wine tasting, then you hit up the late festival right on Friday. Wake up early Saturday morning. You will get a hot air balloon. You go up in there. You see wine country in the hot air balloon. Especially if you're trying to be romantic. I'm giving you guys a little tip here on how to do it, guys. And then you go hit have some breakfast. They have a few good breakfast spots. Even 1909, which is where you guys are having that, has a good breakfast, and there's a decent amount of places that have good.
Old Town Temecula in general,
Yeah, Old Town Temecula. Then you go to the festival. If you don't want to be there all day, you can. There's a few things you can do. Then come back for the late showings and all that for the ceremony.
You're gonna want to be there all day because it's that fucking good.
No, I 100% you want to be there all day. But if you're someone who just can't, he wants to move around, there's a lot of stuff you can do to basically make this a full-on trip for yourself. Like it's a great weekend trip, realistically. That I think a lot of people could enjoy. So it's definitely. It's because I've gone to film festivals before, right? And I haven't been to too many, but the ones that I've gone to, I've always been kind of let down in the sense that I feel like it's not, you're there and it doesn't feel, it's almost like you're just buying a ticket to watch a movie and they're calling it a film festival because it's just a bunch of films that are part of this festival. But there wasn't any again, when we went there, it felt like it was an experience, right? Last year. And I think that makes all the difference. It makes, I've had, people that went last year, hey, when is the film festival happening this year? They've asked me because they had a good time, So I definitely think, again, it's an experience. Don't think about it as you're just going to watch movies in a movie theater. It's an overall experience. It's a great way to hang out.
It's also good to talk to the people that, first of all, if you're interested in movies, it's good networking opportunity. Also to just talk with the filmmakers that, there's going to be filmmakers from the movies there. It's a good networking of other people who are into the creative arts and obviously films. There's also, I want to mention, there's also going to be, raffles on Saturday, and we'll be giving away raffles and prizes and stuff like that. So there's a lot of reasons to go check out the festival besides movies. But the main reason is there's going to be a lot of good quality films playing at the festival and really showing how great independent cinema is. And I can't wait for it. I can't wait to see everybody who goes there, and it's going to be a blast.
Definitely recommend anyone who's going to be in the area, swing by, check it out. Shit, if you're in San Diego, LA, make a weekend of it. Head down there. It's a good time, and there's a lot you can do. And one thing I want to mention before we sign off here is, I'm not exaggerating when I say it's a good time. I remember last year, the one guy showed up, he was dressed to the nines, and then his wife was wearing a very nice dress. And I'm like, dude, I saw the picture on the website. I'm like, the pictures look great, because it's just a good time. You're going there, and it's just an event, right? It's an event. It's a great thing to go out and just have fun with it and experience it. I showed up and I was like, damn, I wish I would have dressed up a little. I was wearing this a t-shirt. It was a nice t-shirt, but I was wearing a t-shirt. I was like, damn, I wish I would have I didn't expect the red carpet thing to be I'm like, could have got my LinkedIn profile pic taken care of there, and all this other shit, But no, overall, it's a great time. To highly recommend it. Check it out this weekend, October 11th through October 13th at Temecula Valley Film Festival in Temecula, California, at Temecula Cinemas, right?
Yeah.
All the links in the description so you know where to get tickets, and you can kind of see the film lineup and everything that's going to be going on. Make sure to check it out. Thank you for watching. This is a different ending than we normally do. This is Steven Arepas for the Temecula Valley Film Festival. I'm Nathan. This 24 Chambers of Film. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.